young alligators hatch from a nest, and the temperature of the nest is in the high 80s or low 90s, in that neighborhood. If the temperature stays into the 90s, most of the eggs will hatch a male. If they hatch at a temperature of 87, 88, or 89, they'll probably be females. So in a nest, you probably would not have a uniform temperature throughout. It would vary. So the sex of the offspring would vary. I cannot tell if this is a male or a female, but the only way to find out is to turn him over and look on the on his belly, and there's a space here, there's a structure here. It's called the cloaca. Cloaca. This is a common opening for the excretory, reproductive, and digestive tracts. And with an older gator, you can digitally probe inside the cloaca, and if it's a male, it's very obvious. It's very obvious. And if it's a female, then that too is obvious. And when they're born, just before they're born, they call their mom. They actually talk. She talks to them inside the egg. They begin to make a little chirp. And when 10 or 15 or 20 little babies begin chirping and barking like that, then here comes mom, and she recognizes the call, and she'll scrape away the top of the nest, and pretty soon she'll expose those eggs that are ready to hatch. They then will use their nose. On the end of his nose, he has a tooth. Inside that egg, he has a tooth that he uses to cut open the shell, because the shell is soft, pliable, and so it cuts easy. So they cut their way out, and then they wiggle out. Mom will come by, she'll come back, and as soon as she can, she'll pick up 1 or 2, maybe even 3 in her mouth, and not scratch a single scale on his body, and she'll take them down and put them in the water. She'll go back and get another 2 or 3, come back and take them down, put them in the water. They immediately, without ever seeing water before, begin to swim. Swimming is an instinctive behavior that never has to be taught. And of course, it's all due to the motion of this big outboard engine he's got back here. This is his motor. The tail is also a storage organ for fat. It's also a weapon. It will use it to create this twisting, rolling motion that gators are known for, and that's their lever for rolling and twisting and tearing apart a larger critter. Such as if this guy caught a little frog, or bigger than he could swallow, he might even bite and twist and turn. He might even do some of that on his own. If I could come closer to you, and okay, all right, I will touch the top of his eye, and when he opens, watch what happens. It's slowly opening. There's a membrane, a nictitating membrane in there that goes across the eye when he's underwater. When he comes back out, in the adult gators, it just immediately opens all the way. But it's a little slower with these fellows. So that's their nictitating membrane. That keeps water from actually going into the conjunctiva and the other exposed surfaces of the eye. This one movement here, where if you roll him over, slowly, slowly, he's not asleep. He is not asleep. He is resting. He's still much aware of where he is and what's going on, but by turning him over, it causes his pituitary gland to secrete serotonin, I think it is. It's a hormone, a sleep hormone. And so that's why they appear to be asleep, but it's very deceiving. It's not, you certainly wouldn't do that with a big alligator. His chances of survival are probably like 1 in 50, 1 in 40 or 50, because so many other critters in the swamp, a big mudfish, a big jackfish, a big great blue heron, an egret, a snake. Many snakes would just love to have a small gator for lunch. Many predators would consume baby gators. So out of a nest of, say, 25 or 30 or 40, say, so let's say she had as many as 40, maybe two will survive to be an adult gator, because that cannibalism that exists in their behavior goes all the way up to Oscar's age. If he gets hurt, if he gets injured, nature has left this young feller with the ability to replace not only skin, but bones and muscle and even organs. I saw a gator here a few months ago with his entire right side bit out. You could actually see into the cavity, into the chest cavity. That gator never got infected, never got a great big sore or anything. You couldn't even see a scab forming, but it began to regenerate, and it repaired that entire chest cavity, the ribs, the lung, the tissues that were inside the muscles and the skin. So this great repair, regeneration quality is a tremendous carryover from their ancestry.